Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Memoirs and Some, the podcast. It's your girl, Myia Dominique, and I got my high school bestie in the building. Of course, y'all seen her in season 1, but we back for season 2, and she's that girl financially, literally. So without further ado, my girl, my baby, my lover, my baby mama, all of that and one, my bestie, U-Conjay, you if you nasty. No, I'm just playing. But I'm going to let her go ahead and introduce herself, and we'll get right into the topic, y'all.
Hey everyone, I am U-Conjay. I don't know why she said you. Only certain people call me that. Are not those people. I am a certified credit consultant. I also have my own financial business where we focus on teaching people how to get out of debt, stay out of debt, and financial literacy. I've been doing this for about 3 years now, so not long, but long enough to where I know what I'm talking about.
There you go.
I don't know what it's like. I'm 29. I'm almost 30. So when you email me, call me auntie because you're
not call me auntie.
I'm getting old, girl. Be old.
TT getting up there.
Right, that part. So make sure you address me as such with respect.
Period.
Like I'm from the 80s.
That's financial TT. Don't play with you.
That part. So I'm really excited to be on here with y'all, and hopefully you guys can learn something from this video. From this podcast, so that you can help improve your personal finances.
Absolutely. So that, without further ado, clearly y'all will already know I'm gonna have my girl talk about what she mastered in, which is finances. Our topic today is: are you financially literate enough to really be financially free? Generational wealth, and how do you create it? So this is my boss friend. I have maybe about 4 friends who are full-blown entrepreneurs. She was the first one. We got out of high school, went to college. This girl was like, I'm starting a makeup line. What? Wait a minute. We just got grown. Hold the fuck on. And then she just kind of went from there. And of course, you know, this is my dog, so I'm going to support her through whatever. But my ass wasn't starting no business at that time. So you on your own, pal. I'll support, but I'll see you when I see you. But I say that, I hit her and I was like, hey, you know, I watch my girl videos all the time. TikTok, Instagram. Every time I see it, of course, I'm liking, I'm resharing, reposting. Because number one, I hate to pull the race card, but black people are terrible with their finances. They're terrible. I don't care what you say. I don't care how you say it. I don't care who get mad. YouTube don't ban me. But they are. They're terrible. And unfortunately, it's generational. It's generations of this constant, and I'm pretty sure she can attest to this. It's generations of the constant stupidity when it comes to these financial situations. Some of the financial literacy that we don't have, or that we had to wait till we was 23, 24 to learn. There are other cultures, they set that in their kids' stone at 17, 18 years old. Their kids leaving high school with credit cards and things like that because they're teaching them to be financially free or to know what to do financially as they get older. It's easy to spend money. Everybody know how to do that. You go in the store, everybody can do that. So when I hear, I was like, who better? Like, who better than to come on here and tell us? She gonna drop all of it on us, so I'm not even gonna get into that. And anyway, what does it mean to be a financially free friend? Like, what do you say? Because I know that's your slogan. Like, yeah, I'm your financial best friend, and she got a coloring book. She got all types of stuff to help you save. You know, a planner. She has savings envelopes. And I mean, we talk. So of course, she's my friend. We talk. We gonna drop those little ideas and pennies and stuff to each other. Like, hey, how you feel about this? What you think about that? Girl, I did this. What you think about this? So when she told me the coloring book, I'm like, yeah, she owns some. That's gonna do it. If black folks don't want to do nothing else, they gonna engage in something that they can do that's tangible. Right. We want to see it. You know, it's easy. That's just like a person making an investment. You want to know that when I put this $20, how you know my 20 gonna make 40? Right. And so that's kind of that same thing. So what do it mean, friend? Kind of break that down for me.
So being financially free is really subjective to the person that is trying to achieve financial freedom.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that is because everybody has their different definition of what being financially free is. So like for me personally, being financially free is being able to wake up today or wake up any day and doing whatever I want to do and not have to worry about making sure I have enough money for bills, making sure I have enough money to put into savings, not having to constantly be in a state of making sure I have enough money. Now that's what being financially free for me is. However, there are some people who would say being financially free is just being in a situation where you're assets are more than your liabilities. So with your assets are just things that bring in income. So God forbid something happens, you pass away. If we sold all your assets away, would it take care of all of your liabilities and cover everything for you? If you're in a situation where you can do that, in some cases you are considered financially free because a lot of Americans are not in a position where that's possible for them.
Okay. See, told y'all, dropping them gems. So that was so well put, but I get it. And so I guess to piggyback off that, what do you think will go both ways since you gave us two different examples? With your first example of being financially free, what would be, I would say, if you had to give us maybe like your 3 top steps to get to that place or go in that direction? Because although they kind of the same, they're very different when you look at assets versus liability.
Right. So the first thing, I know you kind of touched on it, and you said that in the African American cultures, we don't talk about money. Money is something that we talk about, and oftentimes people think that white people are the people that are in the best situation financially, economically,
and they're not.
White people are not the people with the best credit. They're not the best people with the best financial sense. It's actually Asians.
I knew that.
Have a better understanding of finances. And if you look at the Asian culture, they aren't very materialistic.
Nope.
They live a lot below their means, and they believe in setting up the generation that's coming up behind them, setting them up and putting them in a situation where they can achieve more financially. So a great example of this is if you go to like a Chinese food restaurant, it's always the mom and the dad working, but they got a kid that's in college that they're paying to put through college so that they're graduating without any debt. So that by the time that kid graduates, whatever their degree in, they can use that degree to help build the restaurant. And then after a while, it don't even be the mama and pop in there no more. They start hiring other people to come in there. So just the mindset of staying down until it's time to come up is something that they have, just have ingrained in them. But also, you have to think about Black people suffering from slavery. We're 400 years behind. So all the stuff we get excited about, other people have.
They done been there, done that, and had it.
So we over here happy that we can do A, B, C, and they've already done it. So
they've done it.
Us, they're like, that stuff doesn't matter. But it's easy to say that when you've always had something. We're talking about a group of people that ain't never had nothing before. So it kind of messes us up in a way because we don't get to really enjoy the fruits because we're constantly playing catch up with other people and with our. But what was your question? I completely forgot. Now I got off topic.
No, you kind of hit it. So what I was gonna say is let me piggyback off one thing. When you mentioned that Asians, the other thing that a lot of people don't realize with Asians is Asians will invent almost anything. So if they're the manufacturer, imagine they're not paying what we paying. For instance, an iPhone 15. If it's already made in China, what they use to make it, of course they taxing us when they send it over here. That's why it's $1,500. That's why they walking around with the iPhone 15 probably 2 months before it dropped, because half of them probably have some type of investment in some way, somehow, in Apple, some way with the manufacturer. And then they able to promote the product. So it like you just said, stay down till you get up. But most of all, like, their mindset is different. it's just different on how they look at life, generational wealth in itself, business. Their mindsets are different. So no, what I was asking you was, what would be, I would say, a top 3 steps into going into the direction of being financially free from your first example of financial freedom?
Okay, so my first thing is, and you got this really bad. Your first thing you have to do before you do anything is deal with your financial trauma.
Yep.
Deal with your ideas surrounding around money, and not just you, but moms, especially single moms. I know because I was a single mom for a long time. We have the worst where we try to replace who's not there with items. Yep. And if that means going in debt, if that means ruining our credit, we're going to do it because we're trying to make up for who's not there. That is a source of financial trauma. The fact that some people are in situations where every time they get money, they spend it because they're trying to make up for the childhood they didn't have, that's a source of financial trauma. So the first thing I would say, dealing with your mindset when it comes with the money. Learn what your triggers are. When do you spend the most amount of money? When you're spending money, how does it make you feel? That plays a big part in it. A lot of people feel like they have a shopping addiction because when they spend money is when they feel good. And it's not necessarily that you have a shopping addiction. You just need to go find another hobby. That's literally it. And so,
financial trauma.
Yeah, financial trauma is first. Then 2, knowing how much it costs for you to live. This is knowing how much your bills cost. All of your bills added up. How much does it cost? Okay. How much does your free spending cost you? So by free spending, I mean stuff that you don't necessarily need to survive. Like, yeah, you have a car, but you could take a bus. I don't consider a car something. Unless you live, like I live in a South, you need a car because ain't no transportation. Okay. But if you live somewhere like Chicago, you can hop on a bus. You may not want to, but you can.
It's an option, definitely.
Right. So, putting gas in your car, how much does it cost for you to do that? Subscriptions, DoorDash, how much are you spending on eating out? Expenses that change based on how often you need them, knowing how much that is, and then looking at how much you're contributing to savings. So once you create a budget and you have a clear picture of everything that it is and you see where all of your money is going, you need to see where you need to draw back. So that would be the third thing. What are some expenses that you can cut out? If you have a lot of money going towards debt, and that's credit card minimum payments, how much you might have to give up eating out for like a month or 2 so that you're able to pay down 2 or 3 cards a little bit faster. Okay. Once you do that and you get rid of and you lower your debt that you have, then we can go into saving and investing and stuff like that.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Now, since you said that and she went into investments and all that stuff, so I'm gonna let her keep going into investments. Now, here's my question though. Mm-hmm. A lot of times, often we feel like, okay, if I invest this amount in, well, let me give you an example. Let's say I invest, I don't know, $300 into Google. Mm-hmm. Now, is that a smart investment based on, and I'm going to give you the scenario as to why I'm asking. A lot of times, millennials especially, we just know, oh yeah, this is the stock, this is what goes, and these are popular stocks. But not necessarily, a lot of people don't tell you, like, you lose a lot in stock too. Mm-hmm. You lose a lot in stock. And stock in itself is very, very tedious as to rules and how you buy your stock and all of that stuff. So in buying stock, I guess my question to you would be, as a financial best friend and just as a financial coach, period, at what point of your financial journey do you say, okay, you've done the things you need to do to at least get yourself in the direction of financial freedom? Where do you start that investment process to start gaining you some assets now?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the first thing is you need to find what makes sense for you.
Okay.
There's some people who
that's a good one.
The stock market makes sense for them. There are some people who will look at the stock market and be like, don't none of this make sense. 1 + 1 is not equaling 2. And that is okay. Mm-hmm. Something that I've seen repeatedly, especially during the pandemic is when I feel like the stock market talk became really popular, and everybody felt like, oh, if I'm not invested in the stock market, I'm behind. I'm not doing something. If the stock market is too confusing and you don't understand it, it's not your thing. You're not passionate about it. Don't do it, because if you start to do something that you're not passionate about or that you're truly not interested in, it's going to stress you out when the stock drops. You're going to freak out. You're going to sell the stock way before you need to. But if it's something that you're passionate about and you understand it and it makes sense for you, you understand that you're supposed to buy when the stock dips. That's when you buy it the most because it's on sale. When it goes up, you're like, okay, I know the high was 350, and right now it's at 372. So I know it's going to drop eventually because the high just
exactly. It was just 350.
So now it's a good time for me to buy it. So the first thing you need to do is just realize that you do not have to invest in the stock market. The next thing I would say is this is not financial advice. Ain't nobody going to be able to sue me, okay? This is just my opinion.
As you should, friend.
The next thing, and this is just generic stock advice, right? The first thing you need to learn is what is a ticker symbol. A ticker symbol is when you look on what's a Robinhood, and you look at Google, it's not gonna say Google. It's gonna say like 3 or 4 letters, or I think it's called ABC something like that.
Right.
It's gonna have the letters. That's a ticker symbol. That's what the company is referred to in the stock market as.
Right.
So you have to take it simple. The next thing I would say that you need to look at is I think it's the 52-week high. That is going to tell you the highest that stock was going for. The 52-week low is going to tell you the lowest that stock was
going for.
So if you look in there and it tells you within 52 weeks, a stock the lowest was, let's say, $32, right? And right now that stock is $5, you know that it's probably not a good idea to invest in that stock because you're like, dang, what's going on with the company?
Mm-hmm.
I need to look behind it a little bit more. Once you do the research and you see like, oh, their stock price is dropping because they just acquired another company that has a lot of debt, and that's why a lot of people sold off. But I see the fundamentals of this business, and this is something I can get by. You be like, oh, I done hit a lick. This company is on
exactly.
You buy into the company. But like I said, if you're not educated enough or have done enough research into a company, I don't recommend you invested in a company just because your friends are invested in it. That is definitely
that's a wrong decision.
Yeah. Yeah, but a good place to always start is the S&P 500. That's the 500 companies of America that are doing good, that are considered the elite, and you essentially invest money into it, and you end up owning a little bit of stock in all of these companies. I think the S&P 500 right now, majority of their stock is in technology. That's going to be Apple, Google, Microsoft.
Android, all of that stuff. Yeah.
Now, know that if a company isn't doing what they're supposed to do, they will get kicked out of the S&P 500 if they start losing money. So a lot of people, it is very common for people to look at the 500 as a savings account. So like for my kids, right, every month I put $100 in each of my kids' S&P 500 savings account because they're younger than me. Caleb is 1. UJ is 5. They can withstand the highs and lows of the stock,
right?
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's trending up, even though it may dip. It's going to keep going up.
Yeah.
So instead of having a savings account for my kids, I just do that for them. I don't invest per se for myself right now because I'm not in a situation. I need to pay off some other stuff first.
Period.
So that's why I'm not doing that right now. But for my kids, that's what I would tell everybody to do. On your kid's birthday, all them family members send you money. Go ahead and open a custodial account for your kids and buy them some stock in the S&P 500. And then every month, just put $100 into it. Even if you don't necessarily buy them a stock that month, still put the money there so that if you see like, oh, dang, Google on sale, you have the money in there.
And it's already there.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
What dropping gems, guys?
I was about to say my girl is popping her shit today because literally every subject she going to my next one, which is good. I love it when a plan comes together. I love it when we flow. So she said she went into it. Literally, she has 2 kids. So she just told y'all what she does to save or a form of saving for her children. My next question. As a financial coach, what do you see most in, I'll say millennials? Let's just do our generation. What do you see as our biggest problem? She tell me my problem all the time. She ain't lying. I will go in full-blown debt for my kids. I don't give a damn. She trying to get me out of it, and I'm working on it. Like, we doing much better. But she'll be like, I was like, yeah, I got this for the kids. And she's like, why the hell did you spend all of that? Mm-hmm. She looking at me like, no, girl. And her and my brother, they about the same. Like, DJ could have been her damn twin. Because they do they the same exact way. Like, I know my nephew, he would have loved his daddy, but he dodged the bullet when it comes to that frugalness. Because DJ, he don't care. Unless it's a gym shoe, that's about the only thing he gonna spend extra on. He don't care about all that. He will go with H&M. He will go, like, he is very, very, and it's not even just going with living within your means, because the thing is, I will live within my means, but hell, if I feel like I'm a hustler, so I feel like, oh, I could get that back. I could put that right. Yep. I in my head, my mindset will just and like she just said, it is definitely a frame of mind. You definitely got to program yourself. And me, I'm learning, and I think with this little new journey I got going on, it'll be a little bit easier to like implement it a little bit better, because then it'll become more of like a habit. And of course, we all know, as you grow, as you make more money, you spend more money. All of that comes with it. But even in having money, I was just saying that the other day, like, if I became rich tomorrow and $10 million came in my account, I would still get on here every week and do this podcast. I would still do my ebooks. I would still, all of those things are still forms of like a job. I wouldn't stop. Yeah. I wouldn't stop. So I think that's where that hustler mentality comes in, where I'm just like, okay, yeah, I did spend maybe $300 extra. Okay, let me go ahead and do this TikTok, bust a few moves, and I know by the end of this, I could do an Amazon promo, and bam, I'll be back. It's like, yeah. But that circle of life and that mindset, I do want to change. So I know, that's why I say I'm going to call myself out, but she called me out, because I already know her. Ain't got time. So, for the millennials, though, I know, I'm pretty sure I'm confident on one of them, but I want to hear you say.
I would say the number one issue that we have is a lot of us. Okay, so I know somebody gonna get mad.
YouTube don't ban us.
I don't think YouTube gonna get mad. It's the people that's gonna get mad. A lot of us grew up with crackhead parents. Okay, it was the '80s. Everybody was doing crack, so you can't be mad at them. It was the thing to do.
It was the thing. Yeah.
So because of that, a lot of them implement a lot of horrible ideas and ideologies in our mind because of the era they grew up in. And I feel like a lot of our generation, we're starting to undo it. And the big part of that comes with the I can get it right back mentality.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, It's okay if I spend it because I'm going to get it right back. We have to let that go, because all that does is puts us on like what's something, them hamsters, a little wheel,
the little treadmill thing. Yes.
You just keep chasing the carrot. So I would definitely say the hustler mentality, that definitely is messing us up. The lack of wanting to take accountability for us being where we are is not. I just made a TikTok where I was like, I'm gonna keep my team brief. Your mama did not ruin your credit. And a lot of people was like, yeah, my mama did. She put this in my name. She put this in my name. Okay, cool. Let's break this down, right? Your mama put something in your name when you were 3. You are 24. The statute limitation in most places is anywhere between 7 to 10 years.
That's 10 years. That is gone now. Yep.
So your mama putting something in your name is not affecting you now. It's the fact that all the credit cards you got are maxed up. That's what is affecting your credit. You missed a whole bunch of payments when you was 18 and you got a Victoria's Secret credit card and you was trying to be hot when you was in college.
Yeah, yeah.
Not your mama. Stop blaming that lady. She ain't did nothing. So she was trying to survive. And I am one of those people who my mom put a light bill in my name because she couldn't get it in her name because my mom's an immigrant. She couldn't get it in her name, so she put it in my name. Was I mad when I saw that stuff on there? I was annoyed, but I'm like, my mom was trying to survive, okay?
Yeah.
I can't, when you're trying to survive, when you're in survival mode, it's nothing.
You do desperation, and it becomes like, no, it's not an answer. So
Right.
At that point, yeah. And then you just made a valid point. Your mom was an immigrant. It's totally different. That type of even mentality trying to live, that's a whole nother financial situation where being an immigrant, because now you're learning now what currency actually even is on in another country.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure in your homeland and home country, our currency is different from there. So what it looks like for her living there is going to be totally different coming here.
Right.
So I could see that, yeah.
And then my last thing, you kind of just touched on it.
Okay.
Is we don't realize the opportunity we have as being
girl. Come on.
Even being black, even with things being unfair, we still have much more opportunity. We are in situations where if you want to do something and you don't necessarily have the money, if your credit is good, you can get a loan to do it. You want to start a business, you don't have to go ask all of these different people. You can just start a business today and work your way up. We have such a big opportunity. And because we don't want to crawl before we walk, we feel like there's no other way for us. We feel like there's nothing that we can do to move ourselves ahead or to get in a better situation. But if you look at what you have, you can make something shake. And I know most of your subscribers are from Chicago. Y'all know how to make something shake. There's no way. I've been gone from Chicago for almost 10 years. And I've lived in like 4 other states since then. And there is nowhere that I have lived, that I can get on Facebook and be like, I need somebody to come take some pictures for me real quick. If I was in Chicago, that post is going to blow up.
Literally, because there's going to be a million people. Yep.
That can do it. If I said I need somebody that could come to my house to do my nails, my hair, and my makeup, it's going to blow up because we can hustle, but we just got to take care of the money management portion of it. You can't spend everything that you make. If you're a millionaire, you can't spend $1 million because you're not a millionaire. You have to learn to live beneath your means. You have to. There's no other way to do that. You see all these people that be rapping and having all this money and doing all of this stuff, and you see that and you like, dang, they're influencing you to buy this shirt and buy these shoes and find this.
Right, because that's now you looking at what they got.
Those people have so much money put to the side. Little Baby, a lot of people think that like Little Baby is dumb. He's not. He has a wonderful real estate portfolio. Young Jeezy, when he was doing the versus battle with Gucci, he said I own half of Atlanta, and he really does.
And he do. Yeah.
He really does. Another one, Cardi B and Offset.
Got so much of property. Yep.
Real estate. So we have to realize that just because we make a certain amount of money, and I think I would take away everything that I say and say this is the main thing. We want to look like the amount of money that we make, and that is that's the thing that's affecting us the most, is that we don't know how to live beneath our means, and we put a lot of emphasis on materialistic things, and that makes it a lot harder for us to stay low until it's time to come up.
Yeah. Okay. So then I guess let me bring this around to you. When it comes to your financial goals for your children, with you being a financial consultant, you have a whole lot of kind of pressure. Having the pressure that you have, knowing that, these are the stipulations, this is life, and like you just said, they got time. Caleb is 1, baby K is 1, and my TT baby is 5. So with that, us knowing, times are changing, things are changing. What are your financial goals for your children? And I guess what would you suggest as a financial goal for people who have children. It could be single mom, it could be a married couple, it could be baby mama, baby daddy. You got kids. And at the end of the day, generational wealth is important. I don't know if anyone saw, I'm pretty sure most of y'all saw the episode in season 1 about generational wealth. And I say that so wholeheartedly because that is one of the things that overall we do not leave for our children. We don't leave stuff for our kids. We'll die. Now our kids got all this debt to pay off. Half of us don't got no insurance. And so any little thing that's left is not even enough to invest in nothing, to create nothing. Because you spent so much money trying to bury somebody and clean it up. So I guess for me, I don't want my kids having to spend nothing on burying me. I want my insurance to carry all of that, and all my businesses will be set for my children. I will have that in writing. This goes to this person. This goes to this person. The only requirement I know for myself, my goal with my kids, is that my kids cannot sell my businesses. You cannot sell it. You just can't. I work too hard to put it together for you to sell it. That's a cop-out. Now, you don't have to operate it, but you cannot sell it.
Right.
Not find a CEO, find a CFO. That's the great thing about being an owner. But no, you cannot sell it. Because at the end of the day, what do your children have if they ever need a job?
Right.
It goes past just you. That's the place that I was in that I don't never want to have my kids in.
Right.
You know, I've been in a place where, like, yeah, our family may have some little investments or things here and there and tools and fruits that could probably help. But at the end of the day, if it's not ran properly, if the things are not put in place properly for it to be passed down to the next generation, it just sits. And that's exactly what happens. Or the idea sits, or hell, it just go down the drain. How many buildings do we see go down the drain because Miss Sally Mae's son don't want to pay the taxes or don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Just don't want to. And it kind of go that way. So what's your goals for your kids?
So I would say my recommendation for anybody and things that I've done is the first thing is make sure you have life insurance.
Life insurance is super important.
There's no way that you should die and your kids don't become millionaires. That does not make sense. $1 million policy costs you, I think, how much? Like $36 a month?
I was just about to say like $40 a month.
Something like that a month, just to make sure that when you die, and I mean, granted, they're going to have to use some of it to pay off some things, but there's no reason that when you die, your kids are left with nothing. So that's the first thing I would say. Making sure that you have a life insurance policy. 2, creating some type of standard of operating procedure for your family, right? So a lot of us are the first ones in our family to do certain things.
Yeah.
You need to be writing down what it is that you had to do to get to where you are. So LLC formation, take notes, write down what you had to do so that when the other ones come behind you and they're trying to figure out how to do it, they don't have to pay or buy or invest in nobody else's company.
They can do it with yours.
You've already done it. So whatever it is that you're doing, making sure you're writing notes, you're taking notes and keeping track of it so you can create the blueprint for your own family, for your kids. You touched on this, making sure you have a will, a trust, just saying like what goes what and this, so that people know what's
they know what's what.
Right, when family members pass away, it's very traumatic. Emotions are high, and people start acting crazy, and that completely eliminates all of that out of the.
And money, baby, I don't care what color you are, what nationality. Money make anybody act crazy.
Right,
they get crazy.
Right, and the next thing I would say is that if you have a credit card that is in good standing and you're paying, I would say put your kids on there as an authorized user. UJ is an authorized user on my American Express. She's 5 years old. By the time 18, she would have 15 years of credit history on her credit report. Easy head start. Easy.
Yep.
Easy. Definitely putting your kids as an authorized user on your card will definitely help. A lot of people are scared of that because If you're scared to put your kid as an authorized user on your credit card, that means you're not doing what you're supposed to do with your credit card, and that's why you don't want to do that. Do what you need to do so that you can put yourself in a situation so you can put yourself and your kids ahead. So definitely adding them as an authorized user. My daughter is on one. Caleb, I ain't put him on one yet, and that's really because I don't know why. I don't know why, Caleb. I just don't think
I just think you just didn't. He won. So I just think like you at that point, yeah.
Yeah, so I haven't done Caleb yet, but UJ has definitely been on my credit. She got her own credit card, say her name on it. I keep it. So if you're worried about the kid maxing out your credit card, that's fine. When they send the card, you keep it, and that way they can't use it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last thing I would say is definitely the investing for your kids. A lot of people be like, I'm gonna open up a savings account and I'm gonna put $36. Inflation is a mother. Okay.
Yes.
You putting money in a savings account, the best savings account cannot beat out the stock market percentage. It just cannot.
It can't.
So
not
I would
on
rather
the best
invest that money for your kid instead of putting it in a savings account, which is going to grow a lot slower than if it's invested in the stock market. And then the last thing I would just say is make sure you're giving or instilling principles into your children that will help them not be spenders, teaching them that they can live below their means, showing them that every time we go to the store, you don't need to have nothing. But a lot of us do that because mama say, no, I like this post. It said, I'm not that mom. I always got McDonald's money, right? And there's a book. If you guys are really trying to get a head start on your financial journey, there's a book called The Millionaire Next Door. I encourage everybody to read that, and it will tell you how that kids that are born into families where their parents have money end up going broke at a higher percentage than people who start from the bottom and work their way.
Yep.
Because they're so used to spending money. They don't
work for nothing. Life. They don't have any type of what's the word? They entitled.
Yes. They feel entitled. They feel like they got to keep up with everyone around them. The principles behind making sure that the money stays in the family is not there. And that's more important than having the money, because the money is going to come. But
if you don't know how to manage it, it's going to leave too.
You're right. You need to, and I always use this example for Christians, right? Christians be the main one, always broke, don't never have no money. And I be like, that don't make sense for you to be a Christian and you're struggling financially. The reason why you're struggling is because you're not being a good steward of your money. That's in the Bible.
To be a good steward over your stuff. Yep.
What you got now, why would I give you more?
Why would I advance it? Yep.
That makes no sense. That does not make any sense. When we die, we can't take any of this stuff with us. So why not put yourself in a position where you can live an easy life? But yeah, definitely those things will help you, because the stock market thing, you can get yourself to a point where you can pay for your kids to go to college just off of that and still have a lot of money in there. There's even versions of it that your kid can't withdraw the money. They can only use it for college expenses.
That's dope.
So there's a lot of options out there for us. We just have to do the work and do what we need to do to, get our kids where we want them to be.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I definitely, friend, you dropping them. You dropping them. You giving them.
We have to do a part two.
I was just, what I just tell y'all. What I just said. I'm definitely going to do a part two. But I definitely think part two I want to do. So let me just put it out there while we all here. So we are going to do a part two. To be announced at a later time. However, on this video, drop any questions, any financial questions that you have for the financial best friend. I don't care. There is no dumb question, because the only way we gonna conquer this thing is if we all go in, number one, head first, and go in with the mentality. We look at each other as an intimidation. It's no intimidation. It's enough for everybody. I don't care what the government say. That is insane. That they ain't ran out of no money. They print more. It's cool. They print more. Like, it's enough. So at that point, having somebody she dropping major gems. Like, the first, I'll just tell y'all, she probably gonna get on me after the words. Like, wait, you ain't know that? But no, I did not know you can add your kids to a credit card that young. I thought they had to be 12. So I'm gonna be calling in a few. Go ahead.
Well, it's okay that you didn't know that because it's based on the credit cards. So usually there's different levels of credit cards, right? So if you have a tier, I think they're called tier 1 cards, or it might be tier 3, I can't remember. But your American Express, your big Kahuna cards, they'll let you add your kid on there when they're little. But like Capital One, I think they have to be 5. Chase, they have to be like 6. But yeah, it's not, I think 12, the Chase Sapphire card is 12.
Okay.
But even like Wells Fargo, I think you can add your kid on there. All your kids, you can add your kids.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I didn't know. My kids' age, I thought they definitely had to be 12. But my kids have a savings account, but they have a interest-bearing savings account with a credit union.
Okay,
So,
yeah, that's good too.
Yeah. So I did some research on that one only because I opened my own savings account with them. I thought I hit the mic. And so with that, I was like, okay, well, let me see if I can do it with the kids. And of course, you got to consent because they're minors or whatever. And I still just go drop, even with me losing my job and being laid off, it's been 3 months? It's July, August, September. Going on 4 months. And so at that point I was like, okay, well, I could still do, and I don't drop the 100 in there every paycheck like I was. But yeah, 30 here. Cause I know that 30 gonna turn into 60 eventually. He, like she said, they young now. So even if you do take a little hit, it ain't gonna be nowhere near if it's like us starting from ground zero.
Right.
So I definitely want y'all to drop any questions, any comments, any concerns, anything that you felt like, oh, I never knew that, or you want to know more about. Any of those things, definitely drop them in the comments of this video because we are going to do a Q&A. Now, disclosure, I'm going to tell y'all like I tell y'all any other time. I'm not telling y'all name. You know your question when you hear it. We ain't doing all that because you get a little too testy and then, well, why you ain't answer this one? Girl, relax. So we gonna do it, and I think we'll add even our own financial little experience. I'm gonna let her tell her story. I'm not gonna let her tell it this time because I think with the Q&A it's gonna be a little bit better, and her story gonna make y'all ask even. It's gonna answer a lot of them questions because I know a couple of them that's gonna come anyway, but. Definitely for my people that subscribe and my subscribers who are consistent with watching every week. Literally, I want to see y'all questions because she got an amazing testimony. If I tell y'all the strong ass shit she did, and when I say strong, I mean you got to be a real strong person to do this. You got to have a real big set of tunnel vision. She has some tunnel vision, some bifocals, and a little highlighter going on to be able to be like, okay, this is the goal, and I gotta focus on this only, and I'm gonna be okay. Child, my crybaby asked me in somebody's corner, like, oh, I can't do it, girl. We just gonna have to figure it out another way. She was like, nah, my girl, I gotta do this, and I need to get it done, and she did it. She did it. I'm talking about did it. When she told me she was like, yeah, I'm going. I was like, oh yeah, man, it's good though because I watched her literally go from a young woman to a grown ass woman. That was a grown ass woman decision right there. For real. And a lot of people didn't understand her logic. And that's the great thing about being a parent of your own kids, the great thing about raising your own children and creating different memories and different ways of parenting and doing stuff with your own kids because everybody don't got to understand. And when I tell y'all that nobody understand her damn decision, nobody. I understood it perfectly fine. I'm just a little weak B word and I wasn't going to do that. But she was strong enough to be like, nah, financially, this is what I need to do. The only way I'm going to create the better life for my child and for myself and the life I want is I got to get this up. And it's probably one of the hardest things a parent could ever have to give up. And she gave it up with no problem. It was rough. She got through it. And she in a good place now. Everything ain't always perfect. Don't get me wrong. Like, I know she could attest to that. It ain't always perfect. But if I know enough to be able to get myself from one space to another space, we got progress. My biggest thing is slow motion is better than no motion. It's easy to be like, oh, ain't nothing happening. Ain't nothing happening, or it just ain't happening in your time.
Right.
It's a difference. It's a difference. She just touched on it. Being a good steward. She made the biggest point. God ain't gonna give you no another test if you can't pass the first one. That's like going to 5th grade and you ain't passed 4th. Girl, good night. No, you're not gonna pass, girl. You gotta do the 4th grade work first.
Right.
It's all about the foundation. Did you have fun?
Girl, yeah, you made me, I've been I ain't been slacking because, I'm in school too.
True.
And thank God I got 2 more classes left and then I'm done with school until August.
Period.
So I've been like not nervous, but like, man, YouTube, I haven't been consistent on it and I've been worried about it. But this definitely reminded me to just get
on there.
And I just want to say, are you still recording? Because I want people to hear this.
Absolutely, I'm still recording.
Okay. So, when you believe in yourself, when you truly believe in yourself, it does not matter what anybody say, think, or do. Your belief will make it so that you create a chain effect within your friend group. Because let me tell you, yes, I am the financial one, and I'm the one that's like, everybody, let's get our money together, let's do what we need to do. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That is me. However, when it comes to social media, Myia is consistent. She's reliable and she's dependable when it comes to her content. She does not play. And at first I used to be like, I wish she would just make content about shit that matters. That's when I felt my head like, girl, don't nobody want to get dressed up and do all that. That's spending money. But girl, when I was looking at them numbers, I'd be like, okay. I mean, it got, like, let's be honest, right? It got to the point where I'm like, bro, what you think if I make budget-friendly fashion finds? What you think about it? And you like, girl, yeah, do that. And I'm just like, I just feel like a lot of people, a lot of the bad friendships get the attention, right? You don't really
you don't see the
friend groups where it's like that. And it's like, I asked you if I could do that, and you was like, you looked at me like I was stupid for asking you. Like, girl, yes, girl, go get this money. It's plenty of us. It's plenty for us out here. So if you're in a situation,
bitch, I'll be ready. Get your hashtags. I don't know. I'm just not like that. I love that. I don't know. I think I was saying, I can't even remember who I was saying it to yesterday, but you just brought it to me. I was literally just saying, like, I love being the friend. It was you. It was you. We was talking. I love being a friend that's dependable and the friend that's like everybody could come to. Because literally all my friends, they don't care if it's hood stuff, smart stuff, educational, kid stuff. I guess I'm just that friend, and that's not in a boastful way, but I say that to say, hell, that'd be the best part of it, because then now I'm like, okay, bitch, let me pour into you real quick. What you need? You need some hashtags? What you want to do? You need some themes? I'm all for it, because I feel like at the end of the day, I'm going to be Jada Waiter, baby. I'm bringing all my friends with me. Everybody go eat. I don't care. You hear me? I don't care. People say that all the time. Like, I'm not. No, listen. When I put you in a place to win, it's up to you to take that up at the next level. I'm going to win regardless. But I ain't never going to leave my people like, I'm just not. So for me, I don't even look at it like that. I be like, get my girlfriend snap, bitch. What's up? Because I be ready. And at the end of the day, she looking good in this blonde. I got these little twists, bitch. By the time motherfuckers see both of these outfits, it's going to be different anyway.
Right.
Who cares?
Right.
It's a million people, and she don't even know this. She told me this years ago. I told y'all she's the first one started them business. She wanted to be grown. So she told me one day, we sitting up talking, and I can't even remember what I was telling her I was going to start doing. And
you You was gonna sell certain drinks. That's what you were gonna do.
Yes. I was like, friend, but this other girl, she's already doing it, and she's, and I had a little clout, I got a little clout, so I'm like, yeah, people gonna buy it. And when I tell y'all my drinks was good as ever, they be booming. People still inbox me like, you ain't gonna make no drinks no more. No, I'm not making drinks no more. But I might do it for y'all. Maybe, I don't know. However,
I wish you would. I really do wish you would. I do, because that girl had you. I barely talked to you when you was doing that.
Yeah.
Because you were always doing delivery. The only time I would talk to you when you was in the car doing delivery.
Doing delivery.
Doing that and doing Uber at the same time.
Yeah, I would drop off drinks and do Uber Eats on my off days from school, literally. And I was in college. I was in nurse school doing that. But she told me, she said, go in the store and look in the bread aisle. I looked at her like, girl, what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm not going to no damn bread aisle. And she said, don't worry about it. I got something for you. And she sent me a picture. And it was of a bread aisle. And at the top of that picture said, basically, like, don't look at your idea as being intimidated because somebody else do it. Everybody in this bread aisle make breads, and it's all different type of bread. And all that shit is in Walmart and it's selling. Go make that drink, and you have you a good day. And she treated me. Like, flat out treated me. And that was the end of it. I was in there making drinks. Before you know, I was cutting fruit. I had some extra stuff, and I had started really getting excited with running a business. And that was my first time running a business for myself. I was able to see my profit. She would tell me how to learn my profit. She like, okay, what you spend with this? And I mean, really break it down. So when I say your finances and knowing your financial, just knowing how to be financially free, knowing how to budget, knowing how to use your financial skills in all aspects of life and being financially responsible. Businesses crash all the time because finances ain't right. Literally. They go down.
That's the number one reason for business failure.
Yep. Come on. Drop another gem. Just drop it. Because she ain't lying. It's like the number one. So like I said, Q&A, y'all. Drop some questions for her because we definitely spinning this block part 2 with a financial best friend. My best friend. She our financial best friend. She my girl. Okay? But I definitely appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you dropping your knowledge. I think we're gonna have some good questions for Q&A.
Me too.
I think we're gonna have some good ones. And you know what? Maybe bring some of yours too. Some of yours too from like your reels and stuff. Because I know I see a lot of times like in the comments, I'll be nosy, I'll be trolling. I'll be looking in the comments, just want to see what people, I like to see how people interact with other people's content. Because I don't know, I'm just not intimidated by that type of thing. So it don't really bother me. So definitely bring your questions too. I'm going to bring some. We definitely going to do a part 2. But I hope we helped somebody. I hope we gave some good advice. I hope she dropped enough gems for y'all to be like, oh yeah, go follow her, the financial best friend, TikTok, Instagram. Go follow her. She be dropping the little gems on that too. And she got a little savings book. So savings book, envelopes, and what I'm missing.
That's it for now, child. School been kicking my butt, so I ain't been on my Zoom, but... So
well, that's enough. Envelopes and savings binder, planner. Get you one. Period. But this is Memoirs and Some, the podcast. I am your girl, Myia Dominique, my bestie, U-Conjay, your financial best friend. We are out of here. You want to say bye to him?
Bye.
And we'll see y'all next week, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. We out.